First thing we're going to start with is the sinker slider. I use 20 pound, 30 pound mono. What you want to do, get you a piece, I don't know, 2 foot, 2.5 foot long, double it over. I like to make my loops anywhere from 10, 12 inches. Swivel. Now, some people tie these individually. I tie them both at the same time. I've never had an issue with it. You know, after a couple times fishing with them, you might want to check them. They will wear. Slinging heavy weights, you'll end up slinging your weights off. There you go. That is the drop for your slide and swivel. Always leave a little bit of extra tag line just in case it slips some. You know, believe me, the fish, they're not gonna see it. Now, next thing I do, get you a pack of straws, Walmart, Dollar General, wherever. I'll show you what this is for later. Shove it through your straw, piece it out, double it up, kind of helps it stay in place. That's it. That is your slider. Next thing we're going to go to is your actual leader. 30 water down here where I'm at. 93 pound hardwire. You know, 40 pound will work. Get you a piece 18, 20 inches long. You're running a swivel on one end. You're going to tie it with a haywire twist. I'm not going to go into much detail about how to tie this knot. There's plenty of videos on YouTube that go into detail with it. In fact, that's where I kind of picked up how to do it. Most important thing is the first part of your knot, you want them to run into each other. So basically you keep your wire bent out a little bit and you want to wrap both pieces around each other. Then you finish it by running your tag in by itself around the main leader. I use a small pair of channel locks. Reason being, you don't want to cut this. It's going to leave a burr. Cut your finger, cut your mono, cut your braid. You know, run it in that first groove, and then bend it, break it, nice and smooth. There you go. Next side, hook. Run whatever size hooks you're comfortable with in your area. These are 8/0. I run 8s, 6s, 10s, 12s, you know, depending on what I'm actually targeting and what baits I'm using. Same thing, haywire twist. Always leave just a little bit of extra bigger loop there than I did on the swivel end. I'll show you why in a minute. Same thing, wrap the two lines into each other. Finish it off with a single twist around your main. Now, you don't have to use channel locks, you just use your fingers. Just go back and forth with it. Breaks right off, nice and easy. There you go. That is your steel leader. So, the way I rigged this, because I've had a couple people ask me, you know, people next to me fishing or commenting on my Facebook or Instagram. This is how I run it. People run it different. You know, there's all kinds of different setups. This works for me. Never had a problem with it. Braided line, it's going to be your main line. I use straight braid coming off my reels. Straw, had your little sinker slider in there made up. Pop it out a little bit, get your swivel. Swivel. Bead. Then attach your leader. There you go. Steel leader, swivel. Always run a bead behind your leader swivel, helps protect the knot. Then you have your sinker slider. Now, depending on the current, changes all the time. Might change locations. The reason I do my sinkers like this, I use pretty much standard claw sinkers. I pour them myself. This one happens to be an 8-ounce. So you have your loop. Run it through. Back on itself. There you go. Now, as you can see, your sinker will slide. Again, the reason I do this, say you're fishing in the morning, not much current, using a lighter weight, say a 4-ounce. Current picks up, conditions change, weather moves in, you know, your baits are moving, you want to anchor down more, bring it back to the beach. Take your 8 off, or 4 rather, and then put a heavier one on. You can switch them out. Also, it makes it easy at the end of the day. Run your hook down, tighten everything up, take your weight off. Now you ain't got a weight bounce around when you're transporting your rods. If you notice on mine, I got these little pieces in here, little bends. There's a reason for that. You're getting ready to cast, get all rigged up, your weight's hanging off your main line. You got your leader below it. Once you rig up with your baits, anyone that's thrown a leader that's weighted behind it knows it'll helicopter on you. So that bigger loop I left there, hang it just like that. But when you throw, it'll throw the whole thing as one unit, and either right before it hits the water or when it hits the water, it's going to separate. There you go. That's why I do that. Now, the reason I put those sinker sliders in these straws keeps them from getting tangled up. I can store multiple, 10, 15, 20, however many you want. I don't use the standard tackle box. I use a small toolbox, like 14-incher. That is the top of it. So this has all my sliders in it. The bottom of the toolbox are all my weights. And as I rig up my leaders, put them in these bags. And you can write on there, label them, however you want to do it. Extra hooks, some top water stuff. This is what I use, and this is how I set up. So, got any questions? Don't hesitate. Drop me a line. I'll go into more detail, answer your question. Try to make it as easy as I can and explain to you how I set up. Everybody's different. People use multiple rigs, multiple drops. It's all a matter of preference, what you prefer. Whatever you're comfortable with, that's what you should use. If you want to try something new, take an extra rod with you. Play with it. And something you're confident with, just leave that out there. Now, if you choose not to use wire, which there are people that don't like the wire, or if you're fishing clear of water, get you a good mono. I use 50 pound. Do the same thing. Cut you off a 2-foot section or so, depending on how long you want to run your leader. Simple knots. There you go. That's your mono leader. So again, it's just what you prefer. I like using the single strand steel myself, but that's me. Everybody's different. So that's pretty much it for your setup as far as your leaders, how I would run a sliding sinker. The reason I do that, some people run stationary weights. I don't. I like them to be able to slide. If you got waves coming in, you end up getting a little slack in your line. To me, what it does, when the fish first picks up your bait, goes to take off with it, you know, if your leader is 18 inches long, then in 18 inches, if you have a stationary weight, he's going to feel that weight drag, or it's going to be hooked over the bottom. And there's a high likelihood he's going to spit your bait. Whereas if that sinker will slide, he can take it and run with it, and until he actually hits your reel as far as line, then he's not going to really feel anything. So that's why I do it. It gives you a lot longer chance to maybe get a hook up. As far as the rods we use, we pretty much make everything in-house. We run 10 footers, 11 footers, 12 footers. We fish with some 15s, but those are Akuma. Everything else, we pretty much make it in-house. You know, it's the Red Dog Surf Series out of Rip Lip Rods. You can give us a look up on Facebook, Instagram. We make just about anything that you can fish with.